Hi guys, welcome to another Movie Crew Review. Today we'll be reviewing Love Lies Bleeding.
The movie starred Kristen Stewart, Katy and Ed Harris.
So going back to 1989, we go to Albuquerque, New Mexico as we follow Lou, a gym manager who falls for a vagabond named Jackie, who's coming through town on her way to a bodybuilding competition in Las Vegas. Have the likes of Ed Harris and Dave Franco also being partial antagonists and moving the plot along for the film. So yeah, let's get into the review, guys. And Moon, if you'd like to take us away.
Alrighty. I wasn't expecting much from this movie, and I was really surprised how much I love this movie. A24 always delivered most of the time, and Drive Away Dolls wishes that it could be this movie. You have characters from the very beginning. I was rooting for Kristen Stewart's character Lou. She was first seen, I think she's cleaning a toilet and she works for a gym, and I was straight away, I know there's so much more deep down for her character. It's just not surface level. And then she made Katy O'Brien's character and they start a bond, and then the movie's getting darker and it takes a turn. The title say Love Lies Bleeding, so you expect bleeding, but I wasn't expecting where this movie went. Ed Harris plays a menacing sort of character, but the surprising was I didn't even know Dave Franco was in the movie, and he plays a D-bag and he sells it. He was so good in the movie, even though he's not much in the movie. Like I said, the movie kept getting darker and darker, and I was loving every moment of it until the very last bit of the movie. There's a scene I don't think that needs to be in the movie. It took me right out of the movie, and so it didn't conclude the way I wanted it to be because of just one particular moment. So I wish they just took that out, because the whole movie I was very much gripped. I was so much into the characters, but the last moment, it was a bit fantastical for me, and that was a bad choice. John, do you want to go further?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I really liked Ed Harris's character in this film. It's like Better Call Saul mixed with the cartel.
Yeah.
You go to his house and it looks like the Saul Goodman house. So, I enjoyed his character. He was in it a lot more than I actually thought he'd be in it, which is good. Other than that, the story was pretty simple, pretty basic, short time frame yet again, so we get a lot of detail between Lou and Jackie. Other than that, I think Dave Franco did a really good job as that kind of lower henchman character to Ed Harris, but he doesn't come across as anybody particularly too smart, and ends up being his downfall at the end of it. And I do agree with Moon. If it's at the very end, the very end scene, it's another one of those films like The Whale. You watch such a serious, dramatic piece, and then they go at the end and ruin it with this just strange, weird A24. We couldn't just make the normal film and end it normally. We've got to add something strange in there for the sake of it. And I think it was good. We saw Jackie, she started abusing steroids given to her by Lou, and she kind of had it as a crutch in the film. So that was quite a good point to see her slowly progress, similar to the Priscilla film. You see her slowly go from like this tough bodybuilder to somebody who's not mentally stable, and it culminates at the end of the film. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with the music, the lighting. It's a bit graphic in some places that I don't think we really needed to go into, in the bathroom scenes and what have you, but you know, other than that, I think this was what Drive Away Dolls was trying to be, but the comedy, I think, of that film failed it. So yeah, this film did it very, very well. So yeah.
Yeah, look, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very gripping. I thought the tension that they drove through the movie, you could cut with a knife. I felt every scene. The music, for me, was very eerie, and it suited the scene. They had sort of one sort of song flowing through the whole movie, and it's the typical, like, sort of, they're in the desert, and it just reminds me of like an alien or something that's going to be there. Like that sort of eeriness to the tone of the music. But yeah, I loved how every time she'd take the steroid, they'd zoom in on the muscles, and you could see the muscles like pulsating, and the sounds they used was like, yeah, it was really confronting, and it made me feel like, ooh. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting, and I've never seen that sort of done before. But yeah, every time she would inject, you'd see a different part of the muscle or something tense up. Or even when she got angry, you see certain scenes, she'd sort of develop into this big creature.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know what you
and
mean.
it progressively got less realistic. Like at the start, they kept it very minimalistic, so it felt it could fit in the movie. Like it's not very upfront. But then further down the movie, they turned it up, and it's just like, yeah, full Hulk mode. But yeah, nah, I really liked the movie, and I thought the acting was great.
Oh yeah.
It was a
Kristen Stewart.
gripping story, and I didn't feel bored at all during it. And the conclusion for me, it didn't bug me as much as you two. I kind of liked that sort of cheesy happy ending, but
It's not so much a happy ending. It was more. It just
I don't
didn't
think-
really.
But it really
didn't
reminded
belong
me-
in the movie.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you see Shrek 2 at the start when they're running through the flowers. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what it reminded me. But that's it. It went for the full cheesiness. But I don't know. Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Alright, like, the characters were so flawed. Like, she's sleeping with someone to get a job, Katy, and Kristen Stewart, you just don't know what's going on in her life. She hates her father. You don't know about her mom for the
But you know,
entirety of the movie.
she hates her father, but she still works for him because he owns a gym.
Yes.
So it's that kind of when it benefits her,
Yeah, so
she sticks around the father.
yeah, that's why I said the characters are really flawed.
Yeah.
You sort of feel for them that way too. But that's what I'm saying. The movie felt so realistic, even though the plot is, I mean, it is a realistic plot too. But that ending scene, I don't know why it has. And there's a scene before about someone puking something.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I actually really enjoyed that scene. I thought that scene was really good.
That's the most typical A24
It
thing
was,
I've
pretty
ever watched
much.
in my
That was,
life.
I thought we were watching Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the movie Men.
Yeah,
The
that's
scene-
exactly what I thought.
Exactly, yeah, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, mini Christians. They're just gonna start coming, and oh jeez. But yeah, the violence aspect of it was quite good because at the very start you see her with the arm, the wife,
sister.
Dave Franco's wife,
Yeah. Yeah.
sister. So you can play it off as like, oh, maybe she's just injured because you never saw her not injured. But then as the film goes on, she gets progressively more injured by Dave Franco's
Definitely.
character because he's pretty like a loose cannon, so he flies off the handle quite a bit. And I mean, even though Dave Franco, his father-in-law, is his boss, and he's supposed to be like this tough mafioso guy, he never really handles it like a Tony Soprano character where he'd go and just bash him up to the point where he's dead, like, you know, what happens with Ralph Cifaretto in The Sopranos. He's very calm, and he doesn't, it's just a weird thing. Like, you'd think as a father, he'd come in the hospital and he'd have like this anger, and I'm going to find him and we're going to take care of him. And there's Kristen Stewart's character is sitting there crying her eyes out. He's like, oh, don't worry, we'll have a talk with him. And it's just like, yeah, that was the one thing I felt like as a father didn't feel like 100%. Like, you think if you're hospitalizing your daughter, he'd be a bit more angry. It wouldn't just be so.
But I
But I
think
think
it fit his character.
Yeah, he's
like,
very
yeah.
business
Yeah,
orientated.
he
like,
was.
he doesn't really care.
Like at
To
the
the end
end,
of
what
the day.
happens, that fits his character. He just cares about himself and his
Yes.
business. So
Yeah.
All right, Moon. How many dumbbells out of 10 you giving this movie?
I'm giving 7.5 dumbbells out of 10.
John?
I'll give 8 dumbbells out of 10.
Yeah, I'm with John on this one. I'll give it 8 dumbbells out of 10. All right, guys. Please like the video, share the video, tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.